Uber driver suspects passenger, then turns around and freezes at who he sees. It was a chilly weekday evening and Uber driver Danny Blanton had just dropped off a passenger in an unfamiliar part of Texas. He figured he'd take one more ride before calling it a day. But what he didn't know was that fate had already arranged something very special for that final pickup. As the last passenger climbed into the back seat, Danny did what he usually did, exchanged polite hellos and made small talk as the car rolled forward. But something about the man's voice, his energy, stirred something deep inside. Danny briefly wondered if he knew the man, but quickly dismissed the thought, thinking there was no way it could be someone he knew in this part of Texas. But the passenger couldn't shake the feeling either. He kept glancing at the rearview mirror, and when he was almost sure, he finally asked Danny for his name. When Danny told him, the man lit up. He was instantly certain they had met before long ago. Then he said something that hit Danny like lightning. "Man, I know you. You don't know me?" Those words stunned Danny. He stared into the mirror for a second, twisted around for a better look, then suddenly stopped the car and gasped in disbelief. "Man, what the... John!" Both men immediately burst into laughter, shaking hands and shouting with joy as Danny continued the ride, and the entire moment was captured on his dash cam. Turns out, the man wasn't just a random passenger. It was John Johnson, Danny's best friend whom he hadn't seen in over 20 years. They had once worked side by side at a legendary Dallas nightclub called Phenomenon, with Danny as the bartender and John as head of security. They called each other brothers back then, but when Danny had to raise his son alone after the boy's mother left, he had to leave the club, and in those days before cell phones and social media, they lost contact. Still, the bond had never really disappeared. It had just been waiting for the right moment to come back. As the ride ended, the two exchanged numbers and promised to never lose contact again. But Danny couldn't keep the moment to himself. Later, he posted the dashcam footage to Facebook, then to TikTok, and the internet did the rest. Over 10 million views later, one thing is clear. Sometimes the most viral moments aren't planned. They're real, raw, and written by fate.